This is a Neko Media podcast.
What's your pleasure, sir?
Welcome back, everyone, to Cinephiles and Cenobites, Episode 2. First off, I can't believe anyone would want to return after that last pant stain of a show. Second, I can't believe people actually listen to these guys at all. Anyway, welcome nonetheless. This week's joint is called The Shankster, the Thriller, and the Blood Spiller. Is that like a West Side Connection ripoff? With me, as always...
Well, I'm Mox, at villainous_kind on Twitter. Brand new member of the Podden Family Network, a catalog of awesome podcasts. Check it out. At Podden Family. Use the hashtag /tag Podden Family to see the list of all contributors. Thanks for listening to us. Cinephiles and Cenobites. I hope you're drunk. This show's much more fun, all fucked up.
I'm Onofre on the tweets at This Is Ono, and that's This Is OHNO. And thank you for checking out today's episode.
I am Annika Pussyfoot, Cinderella Hellborn, mother of Grendel, bringer of chains, fucker of faces, full-time soul-breaker, dog raper, and all that awesome shit. I don't have a Twitter because I'm not a 13-year-old girl. What's on the menu for today, babes?
We're going to start off with...
Highlights, the highlights. Keep listeners from switching to a show they actually heard of.
The Intervention, series called Starting From Now. Curve, The Lobster, a dope-ass short from the most handsome director you've never heard of. We're going to take a look at what we're calling Getaway films.
Getaway films? Like Get Away From Me, you fucking stalker films?
No, not necessarily. I mean, stalker movies could actually qualify, right?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think any stalker stuff made the list this time.
Right. Anyway, no, getaway as in like romantic or leisure or nature getaways. Like a trip or like a weekend getaway type of thing.
Yeah.
Whereupon the characters run into unexpected terror type shit.
Terror type shit, son?
Oh, fuck yeah, like Wrong Turn? That was a fucking boss-ass movie.
Yup, then we'll close out with our top 6 female directors.
Lady directors. Please, Lexi Alexander, Manigalipta, please do some more action. You can make it a Christian action. I'd watch that. I watched that one with the fucking singing, rapping kid. I watch a movie about a crusader who busts out into Gregorian chants while murking Muslims.
That could work as a satire.
Right?
That could work as a satire, right? You guys are so lame. I bet you think this show is about you. If you're joining us for the first time, the /tag configuration is where these two review movies currently in theaters and give it a go watch or no watch. So sit back, slit that wrist, crank the volume like crush, and welcome to the show, my little bitty bitches, the /tag configuration.
Alright, for this /tag configuration, we'll be reviewing The Intervention. Written and directed by Clea Duvall.
Stokely.
And it is her feature full-length directorial debut. Clea Duvall has a long list of acting credits, although for me, she's most memorable from Ghost of Mars, Stokes from The Faculty, and Can't Hardly Wait as the girl who was allergic to dancing.
For me, she's most notably remembered from My Dream. Anyway. She was also in Argo, Identity, She's All That, Girl Interrupted, just a humongous body of work. She was also in this cool fucking Cinemax creature feature called How to Make a Monster. It had that guy who played Sabretooth from the original X-Men movie.
Oh, you mean Tyler Mane?
Oh yeah, because you obviously knew that.
Yes.
The original Sabretooth.
Alright, so The Intervention is focused on a group of friends, more specifically 4 couples who are on a weekend getaway at a family member's summer home. Now, what one couple doesn't know...
The intervention is for them.
And the rest of the group thinks that they should get a divorce.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
It's kind of an odd setup, but the trailer looked pretty dryly hilarious. So, anyway, let's get to our review. What do you think of The Intervention?
Well, before we get started, I just want to point out that it stars Melanie Linsky, Jason Ritter, Natasha Lyonne, Clea Duvall, Ben Schwartz, Aaliyah Shawkat, Vincent Piazza, and Kobe Smulders.
Vincent Piazza, also known as G-Eazy.
G-Eazy. What drew me to The Intervention was one person described it, or one review modern twist on the Big Chill.
Yeah, I think that was actually in the trailer. That was
Yes.
what caught my attention too. That and the guy who plays John Ralphio from Parks and Rec. He's awesome in this movie.
Oh, yes.
I just love that guy. He's also in House of Lies with
Don Cheadle?
Don Cheadle. Love Don Cheadle.
Okay. But in this case, there's no real... I mean, the focus was the intervention to get two friends to divorce. At one point in the film, you figure out, okay, the rest of the group has baggage on them. And this isn't really...
And he just has bags on him.
Bags on him. And it's really not focused on this one couple, Colby Smulders and Vincent Piazza.
G-Eazy.
But rather the whole group. The whole group has...
They all got shit, and I think that's the double entendre or the irony of the intervention.
Oh, yeah. And,
you point the finger, but you got the other fingers pointing at you, son.
Yeah, you point one finger, and you have three fingers pointing back.
And one
at
to
you.
God.
One to God. So usually if you're going to point, use your whole hand to point at someone.
Yeah, but then it comes a weird, like...
I'm directing you.
Yeah.
In this movie, Clea Duvall and Colby Smulders are sisters.
Yeah.
And Natasha Lyonne is Clea Duvall's girlfriend.
Actually, this Natasha Lyonne, this is quite a reserved performance for an actress, I feel. Every time they have her on screen and stuff, she's always like outrageous or...
I've only known her from the American Pie series or franchise.
Oh, she's also in that fucking Orange is the New Black or whatever.
Yeah, she is, yeah. I still haven't seen any of that, though.
That sucks.
Oh. Melanie Linsky, she's with Jason Ritter in this one, and they're sort of on a long engagement.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess that was the whole sort of irony that everyone kind of had to use that weekend to kind of assess themselves.
Get their shit in order, yeah, to intervene and kind of see how they're feeling and assess and move on.
Yeah, you get a sense the first night that they're there, when everyone's in their room. That's the big chill moment too. Like when everyone's unpacking, everyone taking out all their stuff. You already know what kind of person they are just because. Of
that's kind of symbolic. Like everybody unpacking their baggage on this trip.
Oh yeah, ooh, good one. But usually at night. So when you think everyone's gonna have sex,
actually nobody has sex at night. It's just
the first night.
Too fucking weird. After the course of...
Yeah, no one does it on the first night.
Nope.
But you already get a sense of who each of these couples are and at what point they are in their relationship.
They're past the good parts, all of them.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they're at that one point where you either want to settle or you break up.
Yep.
And it's like that with the rest of the 2 nights. So it's actually 3 nights, 2 days, 3 nights.
Something like that, yeah.
Actually, so the second night, they kind of, everything is resolved already. So you know kind of who is going to continue on. I mean, that's where everyone...
Well, I missed the ending because, to be honest, I didn't hate it, but okay.
It was not worth sticking around for.
No, like, I had to go from, like, the start of the movie, and at that point, it was, just... And also, we had to order it on, fucking pay-per-view. They didn't bother to show it in theaters in Hawaii.
Yeah, they didn't. It was that. I mean, or we pre-ordered on iTunes. We got it on Amazon. So it's on one of those sites if you want to get it.
Yeah.
As far as debuts go, what do you think this is good for?
Not as good as Zach Braff and Garden State.
As far as debuts in general, I think this was a good, solid first effort. For sure. I mean, she's working with pretty fair, large-sized cast for...
Really talented cast, yeah.
For sure, yes.
A lot of indie veterans like Jason Ritter.
Yeah, and as far as original stories, too, pretty good.
Now I'm just hearing pee in my ear. Every time I'm going to critique it, I just hear, was it better than your film? Hands down, The Intervention is better than Psycho Meets Girl. Like, a millionfold, so... Should I talk? No. Every time I want to just say something bad about this film, was it better than Psycho Meets Girl? Yes.
Check out Psycho Meets Girl. You can check out Mox at _kind.
Just don't, because then you'll laugh, but the joke will be on me. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. It was good. I just can't give my my go watch CC approval on it.
On this one.
Yeah, I just can't,
The cast was good?
Yeah, well, I love the cast.
Yes.
And especially John Ralphio from, Parks and Rec and House of Lies. And actually, Clea Duvall is looking really sexy in this movie.
Yes, she is. The
got
ending,
everything.
I have to say, though, kind of left me not
Like,
unsatisfied, but it was kind of like, it was really unfulfilling. And kind of like I don't want to say a twist, but that's what the intervention is for them. But if you want to
walk it back a bit, yeah.
On my part, I give it a go watch CC.
Yeah.
Definite solid at first effort.
I'm not a no watch CC on that, but I'm just like that's why I said we got to create a middle ground, like no watch.
No middle ground. Either watch it or no watch it.
Okay, then if that's the case, no watch. Don't pay money. Between me and Ono, we spent like about $30, almost $30 on this fucking pay-per-view movie. He owns it on iTunes, but we couldn't boot it up, so I had to fucking pay $7 to watch it on Amazon, because that could boot up. And
okay.
I don't know. To make it worth your while, you better watch it over and over and over, and then maybe you have more insights.
Oh yeah, I definitely go watch it again.
But
now that I own it, I will watch it more.
Well, yeah, I guess you need to. Yeah, but as far as comparisons to the Big Chill, it's pretty unfair. The Big Chill is a way better movie.
Well, it's different circumstances. I don't know if they spent more time, because I've read that the cast just kind of improvising off of each other before, so they had more time to work on just chemistry, on-screen chemistry.
Well, the list of Oscar winners and nominees are pretty high in The Big Chill versus The Intervention, yeah.
You think this was before that they got big?
Well, yeah, because Jeff Goldblum, I don't think he got nominated by this. The Fly came after. And Starman for Jeff Bridges and all of that fucking country strong shit.
I think Tom Berenger was in the Platoon afterwards. And then maybe...
Yeah.
Or still
Tom Berenger was still relevant when The Big Chill came out.
I think the whole crew was relevant, and then they just got bigger and bigger after that.
Jo Beth Williams was in Poltergeist, yeah.
Yes.
The real Poltergeist, not that shit with awesome ass Rosemary DeWitt. And
yes, she's really...
What's that guy?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, I love Sam Rockwell.
So The Intervention, we're split on this one. Go watch CC.
And a no watch CC.
Alright.
If I have to just be, black and white, then yeah, no watch. Save your money.
Go watch it.
Wait for Netflix. This is exactly the kind of movie that Netflix or Amazon buys. So 6 months, you'll get it. Yeah,
you'll probably get it soon then.
Yep.
Alright, that's it for the Slashtag.
Yep.
Talk you later.
Yep.
Good stuff. Sounds a bit vaggy, but whatevs. To sheep their own. How do you guys pick what you're going to profile for the Slashtag?
Initially, just kind of whatever films coming out looked good, but we're trying to organize around a theme.
Yeah, trying to. There's some oddballs and some what the fucks, but trying.
Right, yeah, so cool films that set a theme-ish.
Heavy on the ish, sounds like, but a big gay for effort. Getting into this next segment, kicking and streaming. I said that right this time, huh?
Yep, kicking and streaming.
It's gonna kick as it's gonna stream.
From to YouTube and in to Netflix.
What the fuck was that?
Samoan accents.
More like Louis Gossett Jr. from Enemy Mine with a cock in his mouth.
What the fuck is with you and cock jokes?
Did I offend you? Go tweet about it, fucking hater. Other guy, homo.
P, for the last time, my name is Ono, and you know it.
Homo.
My name is Ono. OMG and a G-string, you guys are so sensitive. Little fair bastards. Said my heart is sick of being... Sing it, Tori.
You know that song's about rape, right?
You know what's a joke, right? Slashtag pwned.
Alright, shout out to some of our followers, the Podern family, at Final Girls HC, at HMHcast, at Pol Podcast, at 3B Horror Pod, at Scary Stories Doc.
At the Cinemum, at TGITBR, the girls in the back row, at Gore Horror Com, at Scream Q Stream, the Scream Queen Stream. Yeah, hell yeah, thanks for following, guys. I don't know if you're actually listening to the show. If so, fuck yeah, you're awesome. If not, we appreciate the thought.
My turn. Shout out to Leviathan and the Labyrinth. To all my killers and $100 billers. This sex for you.
So, Curve. While driving to her wedding from Northern Cali to Denver, Mallory, Julianne Hough, picks up a drifter, Teddy Sears, who helps her restart her car after it broke down. To thank him for his roadside assistance, she offers to give him a ride to the interstate. He accepts. The ride goes well at first, and Mallory, although engaged, is taken by his unassuming charm. This all turns to shit when he reveals his true intentions. He holds her at knife point and instructs her to get off the interstate and drive to an abandoned motel. She seemingly complies, but at the first opportunity, she veers the car off the road, plunging the both of them down into a ravine far below. When she comes to, she finds that the car is flipped and her leg is badly wounded and pinned. The drifter, while injured, is not trapped. He finds humor in Mallory's current predicament. He taunts her for a bit before leaving to find some other poor soul to torment. With the drifter now the least of her problems, she dangles, struggling to figure how to free herself before she loses too much blood, or is drowned by the torrential downpour that is quickly filling the ravine. Okay, so this is not a movie I would have watched on my own accord, but it was suggested by someone, and blah blah blah, I ended up watching it, so there that is. From the moment I found out that she, Mallory, was driving all the way from California to Colorado for her wedding alone, I was like, what the fuck? Who does that? Where the fuck is the fiancé in all this? Not that a woman needs a man to relocate and drive with, but as a man, wouldn't you be like, no babe, I don't want you driving alone for hundreds of miles. I'm coming with you. Or, why don't you fly here? Or I can fly there and we can fly here, and if you need some alone time before we start the rest of our lives together, take a couple days or a week or whatever. As long as you're not solo on the fucking boondock interstate. But I guess chivalry's dead. I guess it really is. Anyway, the whole thing really irritated me, but as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that she's uncertain about her impending marriage, and maybe this solo voyage would give her the time to figure her shit out. Her parents passed away recently, and their deaths left her in kind of a rut, feeling stuck, so her knee-jerk solution to that realization was to get married and move her life to Denver, where I guess the fiancé is from. He's from Denver. How the fuck they met? I don't know. Internet maybe? Who cares? Second thing that irked me was giving a stranger a ride while alone on a desolate stretch of back roads. I don't care how guilty you feel about letting him walk after he supposedly helped you. Safety first, ladies. Then teamwork. Sorry, I said ladies like I'm only talking to women. Safety first, everyone. I don't care how awesome you think you are. You could be touched, son. Leave that fucker stranded. The third, and probably most irking thing, Mallory. Julianne Hough has resting bitch face.
Oh, snap.
She's absolutely beautiful, no doubt. But in the way the sun is beautiful, and if you look at it too long, it burns your fucking eyes. When she starts screaming and crying, it just makes things worse. It's like, fuck, just die already.
Oh.
But as the story progresses, almost without realizing it as viewer, her bitch face and insipid marital dilemma are overshadowed by her other characteristics. She's clever, resourceful, and just overall pretty gangsta. At one point, while still pinned, she kills a rat with her bare hands and eats it raw, and then washes it down with urine she's collected in an old water bottle.
Oh.
This chick wants to live, and you start to want her to live. Teddy Sears plays an interesting antagonist. He's less lust murdery than I usually like in sociopaths, but his brand of insidious humor is engaging. He treats the world like a kid tearing the wings off a fly. There's an innocence in his evil that's both endearing and disgusting. He also screams like a bitch, which is hilarious. All in all, there's a nice arc to this film. A little gore at the end, a good killer, and a resilient heroine. Now you kind of feel guilty for hating right off the bat. So check it out. Definite yo watch, CC.
Oh, I remember watching this, and I totally didn't get that. I guess I kind of rooted for her. And
From the start?
Well, once he started tormenting her and like just.
Oh yeah. That's the part. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't know she drank her own urine.
Yeah, no, dude, she bottled it in that one last half bottle of water she found. But dude, this chick is gangsta.
Oh my god. Okay. Nice. Yeah, definitely. You'll watch for sure.
You'll watch gangsta, CC. Sen. Okay. So what'd you pick?
So my kicking and streaming recommendation is currently on YouTube. It's called Starting From Now, and it is a lesbian drama series focused on 4 women in modern day Sydney, Australia. So the pilot episode, we're introduced to Steph, played by Sarah de Possessi, who moves to Sydney for a new job opportunity. Her first stop is at a coffee shop. She accidentally bumps into a woman, spills her coffee, and they exchange words. Now, another woman comes in, intervenes, and pays for the woman's spilled coffee. Now, Steph and this new woman trade glances, and now Steph wants to buy her coffee. She says another time, smiles, and leaves. Now, this ain't no ordinary smile. It's one of those "I see you later" smiles. Like, I will see you later. So now Steph arrives at her friend's place, Kristen, played by Lauren Orrell, where she'll be staying for the time being until she's set up at her job, and I guess when she can find a place of her own. Turns out Kristen's girlfriend is the heavy looker at the coffee shop. I'll see you later, girl. And she did. So this woman's name is Darcy, now played by Rosie Lord. Now for Steph, it seems a little piece of her heart just broke off. But in actuality, all they really did was just trade glances, and that should have been it. But at this point, we know the feelings are mutual. The spark was instant, and that too already reflects Darcy's personality. So I first heard of this series through Bianca Brady, who plays Emily on the show. I first saw Brady in the indie zombie flick, Wormwood Road of the Dead, also set and from Australia. Brady doesn't come in until I believe the second episode. Turns out Emily works at the same company Steph is hoping to be hired from. So later, their work relationship blossoms into something more, but it also later withers into ugliness. And it does get ugly in this series. Now, throughout the seasons, we watch as these 4 characters progress and mature, work to find their own happy places. It's sort of up and down, but mostly down. It gets better though, for everyone. The series was created, written, and directed by Julie Kalsef. She's done a few film shorts, but the last 2 years she's worked on this series. It spans 5 seasons, 6 episodes each, but the episodes are short themselves, spanning from 5 minutes up to maybe 13 minutes. Really quick clips, but a lot of content. The show originally broadcast on television and later made available for online viewing for the rest of the world to watch. I personally enjoy the series, maybe because I'm a sucker for drama, and this type of drama kind of falls on a thin line in between Lifetime drama and soap opera. But I feel like it feels more like a soap for maybe the first 3 seasons. And it tackles some darker issues later in the series, but it resolves. The show is called Starting From Now, streaming on YouTube. Yo, watch CC.
Yo, I was reading this blog while you guys were vomiting sadness about streaming movies for free illegally. Where you guys at on this one?
I am full blown for it.
Haha, nah. I gotta pay for it if I want to watch it.
I mean, yeah, of course. There's exceptions. For no budget indies, don't be a prick. Pay money. I mean, like real no budget shit. Peeps like you and me who beg, borrow, and steal to get the fucking films made. Not the fucking Spirit Award nominees and Hollywood stars showing their acting ability kind of indies. When stars do these movies, they take food out of the mouths of guerrilla filmmakers, taking roles that could go to undiscovered talent. On the other hand, they probably up the profile of the project, but fuck them, steal it, stream it!
Haha, no. If you want free movies, film your own stuff. You gotta pay to watch, regardless of the budget size.
Boo.
You know me, if it's wrong, do it. Fuck it till the heads fall off. So Mox, for this secular insanity, what film did you choose?
A film called The Lobster.
What the fuck, is that a food movie?
No, it's like a fucked up love story.
About food?
No, it has nothing to do with food. It's called The Lobster because you want to just let me do the seg and then all your questions will be answered?
Never heard of it. Is it an indie?
Yes, it's an indie.
Did you pay for it?
No, I didn't pay for it.
What was that before about taking food from indie filmmakers? Hell no, what's the word for when you're full of shit?
Hypocrite?
That's the one. This bitch is a hypocrite. A stealing ass, pirate ass, hypocrite ass bitch. You should be ashamed.
Okay, but...
No, we've heard enough of your lies. Go run for president. Secular Insanity by the Hypocrite.
Okay, Secular Insanity. For this episode, I've got The Lobster, directed by and written by Yorgos Lanthimos. I think he's Greek. It is starring Colin Farrell and Rachel Weisz. So, love, or rather coupling, is at a premium in this dystopian satire where single adults are corralled into a resort of sorts called the hotel. They're given 45 days to find love, or else they will be turned into an animal of their choosing. David, Colin Farrell, after being dumped by his wife, is thrown back into the dating pool, which sucks for him because he is terrible at it. Pursued by the relentless countdown, he struggles to stay afloat while unsuccessfully attempting to make a love connection. The hotel does offer a lifeline, for those who can hunt anyways. Every night, the singles are taken by bus into the woods to hunt down loners, singles who fail to find a mate, but escape the hotel rather than acquiesce to animal transmogrification. That's a mouthful. For every loner that they catch, an additional day is added to their time allotment. But unfortunately for David, he is utter shit at that as well. With only a few days remaining and uninterested in a slutty woman obsessed with butter cookies, whatever that is, whose fancy he inadvertently struck, he decides to make a play for a horrible, unfeeling woman. This mistake is costly. She's German, by the way. Anyway, irrelevant. This is also where the film gets uproariously hilarious. I won't spoil the details, but later, in the woods, we meet the loners, and one in particular, played by Rachel Weisz, who David Lee earnestly takes a liking to. But his fucked luck continues because the loners also have rules. No love, no coupling, everyone for themselves and by themselves. These woodland outcasts embody the trope of being alone together. They also have consequences for failing to adhere to the rules. The most severe has to do with skinning the sexual organs of the offenders and forcing them to consummate their defiance. The obsession to find a mate and pair bond is taken to the extreme in this bleak depiction of the future costs of our contemporary love in the time of app-based intimacy. The story itself develops like a relationship. Upon introduction, you're intrigued, attracted, entertained even. As it progresses, it gets more fun, intimate, and hilarious. But then the tone strains and becomes laborious. What began as endearing devolves into tedious tension that barrels into a macabre third act whose climax leaves you hanging. Will they or won't they? It's up to you. I usually hate that kind of ending, but it works here in the sense that it fits the overall tone of the film and most relationships. That shit's up to you, son. While not a perfect movie by any means, I can totally understand how it could underwhelm or offend some viewers, but its high concept premise made me literally laugh out loud. If you can appreciate the undercooked outrageousness and deadpan wit, there'll be a lot for you to love about this love story.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
I love how the score is tracked like a suspenseful whodunit. I haven't loved the score so much since Jan Tiersen did Amelie, although this soundscape is less whimsical, more straight up psycho. I also love the cinematography. The lighting is gorgeously morose with its muted palette and use of shadows, reminiscent of noir thrillers. Most of all, I love this unabashedly ludicrous take on romance. That's more drama than wish fulfillment. Nobody's secretly in love with somebody else but too afraid to tell them until the end, which happens to take place at an airport or random crowded event. There's no kings of the world aboard iceberg magnets, no hadman hellos, hookers with hearts of gold, no brooding vamps, teeny tramps, or old folks who forgot they're in love. This is not a date movie. You have been warned. You'll watch CC.
Yes. It wasn't over. It still isn't over. Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
And we're back from Lovey Boy's movie about lovey love. Just kidding. It actually sounds pretty good. For bitch flick, I'll add it to my put locker list. You're up, Ono. What midget flicks on the shortest straw?
To reiterate and clarify, the Shortest Straw segment is about film shorts, not films about midgets.
Ooh, I don't think you're supposed to say midgets. Dwarf, I think.
No, I know. I was just using her word to clarify that the segment's not about midgets or dwarfs, short little people. The segment's about film shorts. For all new listeners, the Shortest Straw is about film shorts.
Touchy much?
P, just introduce the segment.
Leave the boss of me. I'm gonna do it because it just so happens I'm hungry and I want to get some cheese. So fuck you and fuck the Shortest Straw. It's about midgets.
It's not about midgets. Alright, for this Shortest Straw, I have Psycho Meets Girl, directed by the homie Mox Atkins, co-creator of Cinephiles and Cenobites. Released in 2009, Psycho Meets Girl is an original story, written and directed by Mox. It's a dark yet complex story about evil. This evil, I feel, is physically manifested in these masks portrayed in the film, or so it seems because not everyone who wears a mask is quote-unquote evil. And there's also different types of masks representative of the character wearing them. Now the story focuses on a character that is known simply as Psycho, played by Celeste Fafita Atkins, Mox's younger brother. He bears a mask as a child and later changes it and sticks with that one until adulthood. So at the beginning of the film, what starts off as a simple patient transfer turns into a bloodbath. Now this patient is of course Psycho, who breaks free from the guards transferring him. He now sets off on a killing spree. So as the story progresses, we're shown bits and pieces of a third character, a demon type character, which plays sort of as an inner demon, but it's an actual being kind of watching, and I think it's keeping tabs on Psycho. Now the evil in physical form sounds kind of like the devil from Golden Child. He speaks like this. And just as evil as the Dark Planet from Fifth Element, and maybe just as buffet looking as Tim Curry's Darkness in Legend. Damn! Now later in the movie, Psycho, as the title suggests, meets a girl, played by Lady K, and in doing so turns his back on this evil. And at this point, it's an evil versus evil showdown, so to speak. So my favorite part of this short though is its visual representation. I'd say it's more on the experimental side because Mox layers these kind of different color filters throughout the film. I kind of describe it as maybe a rough scanner darkly in black and white. But it's not just black and white, there's also red and black, purple and black, very solid colors, but at times it goes into a regular color setting and some varied on-screen effects. It's a nice blend of these colors and jumps back and forth at key moments of the story. It also has a fantastic playlist of metal and indie rock, with also a tight original score by Alex Grant. So if you're hoping to check out an experimental slasher type flick with drips of gore and love, check out Psycho Meets Girl by Mox Atkins. Awesome first effort, man. Send hate and love to him on Twitter at villainous_kind, and you can ask for a copy of the movie. The trailer is on YouTube.
Wow, that film sounds like a piece of shit.
It has its problems.
Yeah, like the fact that it exists.
Shut your fucking face before I shove my foot up your...
The next time I hear you criticize a movie, I'm just gonna ask, is it better than your movie? The answer is yes. Every movie ever made is better than your movie. Psycho Meets Girl is an abomination.
For hosts, you don't do much hosting. You mostly just talk shit, huh?
Oh my god, are you gonna cry?
She's gonna cry, and then I'm gonna cry. We're all gonna cry.
Yeah, so for the Schrody segment, as we said, we're doing Getaway films. 10 rules on how to survive them.
Yeah, we excluded films like Touristas, Hostel, and The Ruins because although they're awesome, we feel they're more vacation films that go wrong, or right, depending on how you feel about tourists. But we'll save vacation horrors for their own segment, right?
Right, there's more than enough of those films to warrant their own list. So Annika P, if you would...
Episodes 2, Schrody's Ladder, Getaway films.
On this Schrody segment, we wanted to explore the weekend getaway that goes horribly wrong kind of movies and come up with a set of our own rules to ensure safe travels when going camping or vacationing out of state or checking other parts of the country. Similar to Randy Meek's rules to surviving a horror movie.
But unlike those rules, having sex or drinking beer and doing drugs won't necessarily get you killed. Those activities are actually expected when you go out for the weekend.
But what may get you killed? Crappy attitudes, ego trips, being non-compliant, ignorance,
Like the black lady.
cynicism, just several things that would lead to your demise.
Yeah.
Or shit happens and you're just at the wrong place at the wrong time. This we cannot stop.
Yeah. So Ono and I chose 10 films to base our set of rules on, but we actually had to omit certain types of films because the massive library is really just too huge to choose from. So we excluded films that featured trips to foreign countries. That takes a nice chunk out already from there.
Yes, it does.
Then we kept to mostly thrillers, and a couple of these you could be classified or subclassified as horror.
So the films we chose were these. Take note and check these out. These movies are all Yo Watch material. Texas Chainsaw, The Hills Have Eyes, The Descent, Wrong Turn, Deliverance, Death Do Us Part, Eden Lake, Black Rock, Funny Games,
The original,
and A Lonely Place to
Die with the Aussie Melissa George.
Oh yes,
so pretty.
Yeah, excellent movies. Check those out.
Yeah,
we kind of
right
use
now
these movies, to base our set of rules on. So here we go. At rule number 1. So if you decided to book a cabin in the woods through Craigslist, maybe check out the place before you decide to bring all your besties over for the weekend and into their demise. So before you decide to head on your trip, the very first thing you should ever do before making any final decisions, which is the very first rule of this getaway list, do your research.
Come on.
Yes, do your research.
Do it. Lazy fuck. Are you trying to die?
Yeah. Find out if other people have been there to the spot before. Read reviews, Yelp it. If you decide to Yelp it, just do that. Sometimes reviews aren't helpful.
Yeah, but if there are any there, it gives you like a sense of how often that site is trafficked. You don't want the one lone spot in the world unless you do.
Yes,
then you're a victim.
You'll see how you have an idea of how active the place is really, and if people go there regularly. So do that research.
Rule number 2: the destination spot is key. It sets the whole tone for the rest of the trip, especially if it's a surprise to everyone else in the group. If you have a bad feeling in your gut, like a really bad feeling, then leave immediately. If you're pressured into staying, well, just good luck. This is why this rule is important. For number 2, we have no secret spots. Come on! If you're traveling in a group and you're the only person who knows where this place is, find another place to hang out.
Yeah, just leave.
If you're on a road trip and you come across a nice spot with a sign in big, bold, black letters that say keep out, well then, you best keep out.
Just keep out. All right. So, rule number 3. If you've already decided to break the first 2 rules before...
And be stupid, yeah.
Yeah, before even heading out on this trip, do yourself, and most of all, your party, a favor. And tell someone about your trip. So for rule number 3... Yeah. Print an itinerary, give it to someone you trust. If you're feeling adventurous and you decide to step into that fence onto the other side, at least someone else back home knows you're doing just that and expects you to be back according to the timeline that you set up.
Yeah, then they know to contact like some real help.
Yes. So, print that itinerary. Plan the trip out. Yes, do that.
Yeah. And rule number 4, if you follow the first 3 rules, you're off to a good start. The trip has begun. But if you're here, then you did something stupid. But before all the fun can actually happen, you better be in a good mood. Because if you're in a good mood, everyone else is in a good mood. And in order for that to happen, you must absolutely follow this rule. Leave the baggage at home. It is so crucial to do this in order to have a good time. Do all the drugs, the sex, the drinking, all of that you want. It's all good, but leave the baggage at home.
Yeah, both figuratively and literally.
No negative Nancy's, Debbie Downers, awkward Annies. Leave all these women at home.
Oh, hey.
Just kidding.
Just the baggage,
Yeah, but leave that stuff, yeah. Don't be a buzzkill. If any drama occurs, it'll lead to fights, unwanted arguments, and it'll just be weird. Once you've decided to leave that baggage at home, the next rule is just as crucial.
Rule number 5.
Fuck you, you're dead.
You have your trip planned out to the T. Everyone is already having a good time. You're on the road, all excited. Now, if you come across some random stranger asking for help, don't do it.
Do it.
Keep going.
Come on.
But if you, for whatever reason, maybe feel morally
Like,
obligated
you're
to
not
do something,
very smart.
yeah, listening to the good angel, do what you can and just keep going. So as a safety reminder to keep you on track, and a very important rule,
Focus on your trip. Come on.
stay focused,
I say it every time, but it's real.
stay on target. So if you like to keep detailed and have everything written down, I mean, you should have had already.
Like as a nerd.
Yeah. Made an itinerary, for God's sake. Keep
Keep
to it. If you come across a fork in the road, your plan says to keep right,
Then what are you
but
gonna
going
do?
left is an obvious shortcut.
No,
Stick
never
to the plan
shortcuts. That should be.
and keep right.
Keep right.
And so if you come across other people in your destination area, be nice. You can interact, but keep
Wave.
to your trip and your
Princess
group.
wave.
Yeah, you can wave like you just won Miss America. You know, you don't have to
Or
add
Miss
any more
Photo.
people to your
Yeah.
group. This is
No,
who you
no,
chose
no,
to hang out with
no.
on your trip, and keep your ego in check.
Yeah.
There's no need to show off. Chill. And just keep safe. The next rule is a safety kind of rule.
And it's big. Rule number 6. If you keep focused on your trip, it's alright to interact with locals. Sure, have a good time. But then something happens. You guys need help.
Oh, what
you need
happened?
directions, supplies, or a telephone or that shit. A local tells you to head up a road, go this way or that, or maybe even
this
tells
way
you
or
that
that.
help's on the way. Just nod and get out. For your own safety, follow this life-saving rule. Never trust the locals. They might offer some help or a place to stay or any kind of shit. They just keep smiling and tell you help is on the way. Nope. Unlikely. Okay? Shit hit the fan. Now you're in trouble. You're in their territory. Time to man up and survive. The only goal, for now, because the trip is a bust, it's just survival. Okay? So the next set of rules are crucial.
Very crucial. All right. Rule number 7. Okay. So if things take a turn for the worse, here's your exit
Which
strategy.
you have.
Yes. Exit strategy. At the first sign of trouble, leave
just
town. You can just get up and leave.
No questions, son.
No questions
Just
asked.
get out of there. Nobody's there to help you.
Yeah.
They didn't even want to help you. They're
Just
probably there to
get
hurt
the
you.
hell out of there. Drop everything
Get
and
the
leave.
fuck.
Run if you have to. That's why you gotta go running. Run if you have to.
Yeah,
So
we'll
the
get to
trip
that later,
is
but yeah, don't
officially
be fat.
over.
Or be
Get
fat,
out.
but run. Just get out. Okay? Rule number 8. Regardless of the size of your group, whether it's a 2-person party, or maybe even 6 of you or plus, do not under any circumstances break this rule. Do not separate. Safety in numbers, everyone, even if it's just the 2 of you. We're going to propose? Well, if you were, you're an idiot. Should have focused on that, my friend. At least one of you will survive.
Yes,
Hopefully
at least
her.
one.
Or maybe no one. But, what happened in Funny Games was a bit dark and unfortunate. Sad, really, I guess. Well, depends on who you are. Now, if you're arguing with someone in the group, that's not a good sign. Half of you may want to leave. The other half may want to go searching for your missing friend. Fuck them. Or maybe even fight back against these would-be killers.
Fight, bro.
To ensure a maximum survival rate, everyone must be on the same page. If you're going to
Same
fight
page.
back, everyone is going to fight back.
true.
If you're going to leave town, everyone has to want to leave town too.
Yeah, go leave.
If you want to go search for your friend, do it together, guys. Don't separate.
So rule number 9. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're here at this point of the list, rule number 9.
You fucked
Yeah.
shit up bad.
This trip
You-
has
you
gone
fucked-
to shit.
You
Yeah.
fucked it up.
You're now alone, maybe with a couple members of the group who are scared
But
out of
they're
their
all
minds.
fucking-
Yeah. No one wanted to stick together.
You know.
It's unfortunate. So you're here because no one complied with rule number 8. So for rule number 9,
Anything goes.
Yeah, you can ditch your friends and leave. You can go into survival of the fittest. No one would think any less of you.
I will, cause you're a bitch.
Yeah. Well, maybe not entirely true. But if you're focused on surviving and everyone has given
Just
up,
live.
you can do whatever you want. You can stay, help everyone out,
Whatever
or you
it
can
takes.
leave on your own.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. It has come down to survival. Anything goes.
Rule number 10, okay? Alright, if the trip has come down to this rule, you are probably not getting out of this alive. Really. It's over. You are on the edge of the cliff and about to eat it. By it, I mean shit. Only 2 things you can do at this point. There's nothing else to it, really. If you're gonna choose wisely and just do this. Go out fighting! If you're about to die and there's nothing you can really do about it, make your would-be killers work for it.
Make them work.
You might actually win. Probably not, but you might.
Maybe, yeah. 50-50.
Better work, son. You can work from home.
Follow these rules and you'll make it out alive. Maybe.
Probably.
But I mean, to really make it through your trip with everyone alive in the group, you only really have to follow rules 1 through 7.
Yeah, early on the list, the better.
Yeah. Do that and you're safe. Rules through 8 through 10 are really there for when shit hits the fan.
Yeah, because you made it so.
You broke rules 1 through 7.
Yeah.
You have 8 through 10
That's
to help
why
you out.
we're here. Yeah.
Yes. We also came up with 5 additional tips. Not really rules or even guidelines, just take what you will from it. And it might be helpful. And they're completely optional. Tip number 1.
Work out at least a month prior to your trip. Do some cardio, son.
Run on the beach, actually.
Yeah, you may actually be doing a lot of running, fat or not. I mean, if you're that fat, should you go on a vacation? I don't know, another topic for discussion, but whatever.
If you got jackets or it's cold weather, that kind of jacket weather, then sure.
Yeah.
But you can do a lot of running. Go do cardio, yes.
I saw this thing that once said, I'd probably be the first to die in a horror movie, because fuck that, spending the last 2 minutes of my life running.
Running? Oh, okay.
I see that too, but seriously, if you want to live, fucking have some cardio built in, son.
Yes.
Okay?
All right. Tip number 2. Learn how to rock climb. Maybe start a campfire. Go swimming. Yeah, learn a skill set.
No, set your friend on fire. Cook your food.
Yeah, sure.
The most important one, guys. Come on. Don't propose on this trip.
Don't.
Engagement rings equal death.
Yeah, don't do it.
You really want to die? Just be normal. Do it in a fucking restaurant.
At Olive Garden or something.
Yeah.
Don't do it in the woods.
Well, yeah.
Never ending.
Just not in the woods. Okay. Yeah, guys, come on.
Sure. Tip 4.
Bring a map, son.
Bring a map. Yes, like a real map, like
a real one.
McNally.
Yeah, like a real one.
Not your GPS. It might die out.
It'll probably die out because you're in the woods of Virginia.
Bars. But bring a map and make sure you know how to use it. Bring a compass too.
Like really use it, not the kind, like, oh yeah, I know where I'm at.
Yeah, well, you can actually go as far as learning how to read stars too. Constellation, the North Star.
I mean, that's a lot asking for people who just want a vacation.
Yeah,
but
just for 3 days out. Okay.
Yeah, well, learn
just bring that map. Tip 5. Bring a pocket knife or Swiss Army knife.
Or like a big ass knife for no reason that you would think, but
yeah,
any kind of knife will come in handy.
Follow these rules, and you'll make it out through that weekend.
Most likely,
getaway.
yeah.
That goes horribly wrong.
It goes horribly wrong.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Great tips, like the one about not proposing. Are you people trying to get murdered?
We should do a list on top marriage proposals.
And top wedding films.
Right?
What the fuck is this show about? Who are you trying to attract? Horror fans don't give a shit about marriage proposals and wedding films. We want gore, guts, lust, murder, mayhem, not fucking downtown crappy.
Downton. Ton, not town. Downton Abbey.
That's it. Change the show's name to Unicorns and Sun-Drenched Kisses. Sing it, Tori. The Sentinel 6, where Cox and Homo count down their top 6 favorite butterflies and guilty pleasure chocolates. I mostly love this segment because it means we're almost done and I get to collect on the souls these fools owe. Let the countdown begin.
The box. We came. Now you must come with us. Taste our pleasures.
Alright, so for this list, we'll be ranking our favorite female directors. This list includes directors who have made films we feel are classics, others we view as important films in cinema, and most of all, entertaining pieces of work. The quality of work is shown. We watch these movies, but when compared to their male peers, there's a small percentage of female directors, mostly in mainstream film or big Hollywood type movies. For independent flicks, that percentage is a bit higher.
Yeah, the gender disparity in working filmmakers is bullshit. I'm sure a lot of that is studio shit, and on the indie bend, probably financiers are as gender phobic, so it's just all bad. Kickstarter, Indiegogo, etc., etc. Support indie film and filmmakers. If you don't, well, I guess that's between you and God and the Babadook. He's coming to rape your eyes. You don't need him. You watch shitty movies.
Ooh.
Just watch it.
But regardless of those numbers, these directors that we'll be mentioning have influenced us, entertained us, and opened the door to other types of film.
Other types of film, like genres outside of what we normally...
Yeah, like broadening our scope or horizons, And before we get started, just to clarify, if you hear this...
Oh no.
That means it's different than what Mox had on his list.
And if you hear this, It means the selection for that spot is the same, which happens more often than you might think.
Yeah, that's true. But sometimes it just may be ranked differently. If you do hear that,
A lot of times, yeah, as we get to the meat of it.
Yeah, for sure. So, but also too, with this list, I feel it's my favorite female directors at the moment. I'm still exploring some of these directors' other films, and they may have some pretty amazing work. Favorites of all time list might be slightly different.
This actually may be my favorites of all time. I don't like search out female directors, especially, just if a movie is dope, I find out a woman directed it, I'm all the more impressed. The shit she had to go through to make it, there's the regular shit all filmmakers go through, plus the specific bullshit women go through. Fuck, if she's gay or a minority, even worse. And if it's a film about gay minority females, well, just fucking props.
So here we go. On the top of my list at number 6.
It's gonna be weird.
I have Penelope Spheris.
I
want to say she's most known for directing Wayne's World. Pretty important movie to me. It of course introduced me to Mike Myers and Dana
Childhood
Carvey.
Musings. Here we go.
And both Wayne and Garth, respectively. The movie also introduced me to Queen, which was a pretty big thing.
Me too.
Yeah, for sure. I think a majority of us.
Yeah, I was like, what is this song? It's so badass. I saw it 5 times and I sung along.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know Queen.
YouTube didn't exist back then, millennials.
True, that's true. It didn't, no. And it also introduced me to Tia Carrera.
Fuck yeah, from Hawaii, son.
Oh yeah. So up until Wayne's World, Spheris had done several documentaries, a few crime, thriller, comedy type movies. All of that sort of summarized Wayne's World. It was part documentary. Characters had a tendency to break the fourth wall. The parodies were top notch, probably most due to Mike Myers' writing. But Spheris was able to capture that chemistry between Myers and Carvey. She was also able to do that with Chris Farley and David Spade in Black Sheep.
I mean, Tommy Boy 2?
Yeah, Tommy Boy 2. And of course, Alfalfa and Spanky, played by Bug Hall and Travis Tedford, respectively.
The shitty movie that I actually went to theaters to watch.
You saw that in theaters?
I did.
Oh.
I've never heard of your number 6, Penelope fucking Spheris or whatever. But that doesn't surprise me. You watch weirder movies, bro. You just do it. Don't deny it. Anyway, my number 6 pick, Barbra Streisand.
Buzzer gets wicked.
I'm not a fan of all her work, just Prince of Tides. Okay? Fucking awesome movie. You're like laughing because you haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
It's deserving of Barbra Streisand being my number 6 female director of all time.
All I can say is the trailer looked good. That's all I can say about that movie. My number 5 spot goes to Rachel Talalay. She actually ended the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise by finally killing off Freddy. Yeah, the lead in that movie was played by Lisa Zane, and her character
used to be hot in '91. Anyway,
her character Maggie Burrows turned out to be Freddy's daughter, and eventually the person who ends up finishing Freddy. But my absolute favorite work of Talalay's is actually Tank Girl. Based off the comics of the same name, fell in love with Lori Petty after that. I mean, she brought that character to life. So the movie itself was pretty action-packed, heavily influenced with the punk, rebellious type of attitude, and the soundtrack is pretty kick-ass. And Lori Petty's hair is amazing throughout the movie.
If you like that kind of
Since then, Rachel has done mostly TV work.
Where she belongs.
Most recently, work on Sherlock.
Sherlock is dope, though.
Yeah, Doctor Who and South of Hell.
Anyway, my number 5's better than your number 5, obviously, because I've got better taste. Mimi Letter.
Who?
Come on, dude. You know the movies at least.
Oh, yes.
Pay It Forward, Deep Impact, a.k.a. not Armageddon. Ooh. The Peacemaker. George Clooney as a Special Forces colonel hunting down nukes from Chechnya to the NYC. Okay, just being an all-around badass motherfucker. And finally, TV creds. China Beach, The Beast, ER, Shameless, The Leftovers, a body of work so vast you could fit a Kardashian ass.
Oh, wow.
That's my number 5, son.
Anyway, so moving on, for my number 4 spot, I have
somebody weird.
Claudia Llosa. She's from Peru, currently living in Spain.
Like, where is Peru?
She has directed several films, most recent titled Aloft, starring Jennifer Connelly, Cillian Murphy, and Melanie Laurent.
No, Melanie was probably correct.
Oh, okay. It's a drama focused on a broken relationship between a mother and her son, Connolly plays a struggling single mother of 2 sons, one of whom is sick. Her other son, played later by Cillian Murphy. The movie switches back and forth from Murphy's childhood to present time, leading eventually to a point in time where we finally come to an understanding as to why Connolly abandoned Murphy. It's sort of bittersweet, but exciting at the same time. Claudia Yosa!
Well, that sounds horribly random. I will take a pass. I'm a Cillian Murphy fan, though.
Cillian Murphy.
You know, and Jennifer Connelly. She can be good when the film is good.
And she was good in this one. So who's your number 4?
Son. Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow!
Yep, Catherine Bigelow. Probably the most famous female director of all time. I challenge you to think of one name that comes to mind that fucking has her background of awards and awesomeness.
Did you see Strange Days, though? I still have to see that.
I mean, I did in high school and again in my early 20s, you know, like on Cinemax or some shit. I really wasn't taken by that film, but the concept was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I did have Bigelow at my number 3 spot. Probably one of the more known female directors
she's
out there,
ahead,
for
so
sure.
yeah, good.
Yeah. So the first female to win an Academy Award for
She
Best
was?
Director for her work on The Hurt Locker.
So, like, really?
But I absolutely loved Point Break. It's still a prime example of awesome early 90s action cinema.
My number 3, Nancy Meyers.
Huh?
The Parent Trap, What Women Want, Something's Gotta Give, The Holiday, The Intern. Come on, guys.
Oh, okay.
I love most of these movies, okay?
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, well, for a minute. Anyway, Parent Trap introduced us to Lindsay Lohan. You guys, come on, remember 1998. We all loved her, and we all thought she'd go on to be our sweetheart forever. But that happened. She should probably be my number 1 pick just for the sheer awesomeness of her abilities and the percentage of her films that I love. I've seen them all except It's Complicated, and I don't even want to watch that. But I have my reason for my top 2 picks. Don't tell me you're... Oh, it's going to get weird. It's going to get weird.
For my number 2, I have Isabel Coixet.
Oh, I was totally right.
Spanish film director.
See?
I really loved
Peru,
My
Spain.
Life Without Me. Released in 2003 based off the Nancy Kincaid book, Pretending the Bed is a Raft. The movie stars Sarah Polley, Amanda Plummer, Scott Speedman, and Mark Ruffalo.
Scott Speedman's good in everything except Underworld.
No, he excelled in those movies.
In Underworld, get the fuck out, dude. He was badass in Dark Blue, but...
So, My Life Without Me, it's about Sarah Polley's character, Anne, and we find out she has terminal cancer. So she makes
a fucking list.
A list. She makes a list of things to do before she dies. And it's nothing too over the top. You know, it's almost bittersweet. You know, she records...
Also known as mean.
She records birthday messages for her kids.
No, that's sweet, but...
Yeah, one for each year until they're 18.
The mean is coming.
Telling her kids she loves them several times a day. Finding a new wife for her husband. Someone who'll get along with the kids. But there's also this other part of the list that's a bit more, I'd say, adventurous. I mean, she ain't taking up windsurfing or rock climbing or learning a new musical instrument.
The Lifetime movie version would.
Actually, I'm not sure if she does this in the book or not. But in the movie, she doesn't. Rather, on the list, she decides to smoke and drink all she wants.
With that shit, son.
Make love with other men to see what it's like.
That's
but actually, she doesn't.
That's right there.
Just one guy, and have someone fall in love with her.
Lots of men.
Yes. The last 2 things are interesting, and I'm sure the book goes into detail about why and maybe how she would kind of justify these last 2. Because she's actually just cheating on her husband. And
that is actually what she's doing, and it sounds horrible.
And having someone fall in love with her, only to, I guess, hurt them later. Because, you know, she has to break up with them. But I guess her intention wasn't to hurt anyone, but rather to experience life in a different way, you know?
From a bitter slices of life onto badass barrage of death, my number 2 and celebrity crush, Lexi Alexander. German martial arts champion turned stuntwoman turned badass director. She was nominated for an Oscar for her first film, a short called Johnny Flinton, which was a hunting drama starring Dashmi Hook, who I love, about a troubled, misunderstood boxer. My personal favorite, Punisher Warzone!
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Right?
Yes.
I don't see how fucking... It's like, well, this is okay, but whatever. On the How Did This Get Made podcast, she explained that she wasn't a huge Punisher fan or anything, but she was really wanting to do Wanted by Mark Miller, which eventually was done by Timur Bekabakov. If Lexi Alexander had done it, I'm thinking she might have fought to stay true to the source material. But Lexi Alexander, despite the studio's idiot market strategy and other foibles, delivered the Punisher fans' Punisher film. That shit was brutal, vicious,
brutal,
and over the top, right?
Over the top.
I really wish she would do some more films. I'm not even going to talk about that Christian thing she did in 2010.
What Christian thing?
What the fuck? I know she doesn't want to do studio films because they're stupid, which most of them are, but was that 2010 shit any less? Okay, just because a film is touching doesn't mean it isn't derivative cheese drivel. Not even Dash Me Hook could see of it. Anyway, check out Lexi's films, except the last one, and her reel. It's on Vimeo and our Tumblr profile. She's awesome.
Awesome. Before we get into number one picks, here's our list of honorable mentions. Karen Kusama. I really did enjoy Aeon Flux and Girl Fight.
What the fuck?
Amy Heckerling. Although I grew up on Clueless and just actually watched Fast Times just recently. And so I consider that a more mature Clueless.
Even though it came first.
Yeah, considering the issues brought up in that one. But awesome movie. I really did like it. And of course, Penny Marshall.
Oh, here it goes.
Loved Big.
Everybody
loved
die
a
right
league
now.
Of their own.
Okay, for me, I got the Wachowskis. They did a weird film with Gina Gershon called Bound. But before they did the awesome ass Matrix, they did that fucking weird ass shit. Lynn Shelton, who did Your Sister with Mark Duplass, Rosemary DeWitt, and Emily Blunt. Last mention, Nikki Carroll. Born in Wellington, New Zealand. She is responsible for the 2002 indie dark horse Whale Rider and 2015's McFarlane USA. So, anyways, the number ones.
My number one goes to Sofia Coppola.
Oh, boo.
Yes. Lost in Translation is
I mean,
one
that's
of
an
my
alright film.
films
There's such a
ever.
thing. Like,
yes. Great soundtrack, great story.
you ever seen her act?
Awesome.
There's this movie
presentation.
called Godfather 3.
Aye.
And she's terrible.
Definitely one of Bill Murray's best performances ever. I was rooting for him at the Academy Awards. I really wanted him to win.
Here's my number one. She's taken seriously because she's real. Jane Campion.
Campion.
2 words, the piano. Okay? My single favorite film of all time.
I don't know, man. I read the script.
And then he watched it and
read
he's
the
still not
script.
taken by it because he's fucking...
I don't
Well,
know.
she didn't make a list and she didn't have a weird son, so... And also, she wasn't Shetty in Godfather 3, so I can see why Ono doesn't like it, but... Holly Hunter is amazing, okay? So are Harvey Keitel, Sam Neill, and Rogue from True Blood, okay? So, the score, the cinematography, the story, and the final shot in the film. Fuck, this is a great film, okay? If it only came out in the 80s, it would have won Best Picture. And her Best Director, she would have been the first. Anyway. You know, she's the second woman ever to be nominated for Best Director, and she might have been the first to win if she hadn't been up against Spielberg and fucking Schindler's List, okay? That movie was a juggernaut. So as it stands, Catherine Bigelow is the only female out of 80-something years of the Academy to have won Best Director. For shame, Academy. To date, no black or women of color directors have won, or even nominated.
Alright, so that's our list of our favorite female directors at the moment.
For this guy, I'm more definitive.
We'll keep watching, and we'll probably revise later.
Oh yeah.
But for sure, check out their movies. They're
Please
amazing.
do. They are amazing.
Yo, watch CC.
CC.
See ya.
And there it is, top 6 lady directors. I like the Punisher Warzone chick. Wasn't that old guy who fucked around with that titty bimbo from Big Brother in that flick?
Yeah.
Titty bimbo. You've got away with words, P. Okay, let's wrap up, homies.
Hell yeah. Thank you all for listening. Please subscribe. I promise the show will get better. And also, we'll send you candy. Because we have candy. Questions, comments, suggestions, shoutouts, or announcements, hit us the fuck up on Twitter at cynical_mass. Oh no?
That's CINECAL_MASS.
Until next time, stay radiant, Oakland.
Go watch movies.
For Mox, Ono, and myself, Annika P., and all of the Potter family, this has been Cinephiles and Cenobites, a Neko Media production. Keep the lights on and check that fucking bed, because there's only one universal truth. No lives matter. That means you.
This is a Neko Media podcast.